What's up? It's the Benchwarmer channel. This is the Benchwarmer Podcast, episode 99. My name is Eric. He hate me 702, and we got Mr. Steal Your Girl.
I'm gonna maybe change that to Mo. He loved me 702.
All right, so let's get into it. First of all, Twitch. Fuck you, Twitch. Fuck you all to hell. Twitch would not allow us to put in Knoah Knigga in the title. It said the title is invalid, and I knew exactly what it was, so I had to take him out of the title.
You should write a letter and say you just invalidated a human.
Like, that's his fucking name. And you hear of this shit of people having issues where they're actually using their real name and they won't allow them to because of what it is. And I understand the concept of it, but
Yeah, like
still,
we don't need your ID front and back.
yeah, but still at the same time, y'all motherfuckers need to fix that shit. All right. So, okay, Jeremy is still on his sabbatical. Sam is not feeling good because that weather storm hit him in Connecticut. So he is not having he's not feeling good basically. So he won't be on
That's the
today.
worst to go through a storm and be sick during the storm. Like at least if you're not sick, you can maybe drink or something. Well,
Yeah,
maybe if you're sick, you
I
can
don't
drink
know.
too.
I don't know how that. Luckily, we live here. Granted, it's been cold, but I would hate to be sick. And
Oh,
then
especially if you like need to go grab medicine or something.
and now my wife's over here fucking coughing. Mamas, I don't understand why. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So we don't got a lot. We got a little bit to talk about. What does it say? I
If
wonder
you
if teacher call him his dude. Could you imagine? Let's just talk about him right now. Motherfuckers had trouble with my last name. So I know they have trouble with his name. What do you guys think about this? I mean, we're gonna get in trouble. They're gonna say this is like a I don't give a fuck. But the pronunciation, I'm guessing from what I heard was it was Knigga. So I don't.
off air, we were saying even if it isn't, it ends up being that
No
just
matter what, you gotta
to
put it that
avoid
way.
complications. Yeah, they're like, yeah, we gonna go with Kaniga.
And the funny part about like I'm serious. You got to go with some Joe Dierte. You gotta change this. You gotta figure out something. Like you gotta figure out. So I don't know how to do it because I'm not gonna try because I've been trying all morning and I cannot figure out a way to separate these letters to not make it sound like what it's gonna
My thing
sound
is
like.
like where they come from. Like, how come you ain't never heard of nobody else?
Well, now because of social media, he has a profile on Max Pro Sports or Max Preps to Pros.
Have they only been in this town?
So his dad's a coach at a high school. So I don't know how, most of them probably just tried to stay off of, you know what I'm saying? The tried to
Yeah, I
stay off.
know, but in 40 years to not have heard of this last name, and then all of a sudden, that's the part that I just find
You know what the
funny
worst part about
sometimes.
this is? His name is not Noah with a fucking K. It's just Noah with an N. Somehow
I thought the other K was just a little excessive.
I did too, but you know what? We added it, so fuck it. Okay? I'm not
Can,
even gonna
his
in the
name should be Kanoa Kaneka.
yeah, so that's exactly he goes to Lawrence High School. He's 6'2". He's a
He
linebacker.
got viral because he's like killing it, right?
Yeah, he's actually really good. So, I mean, I don't know. That's just funny
So
to me.
you gonna see this Kaneka for a while.
Imagine if he gets drafted. Like and again, I'm all for it. There's nothing you can do. I just want to see the announcers fuck up. That's all I want to see them do. I want to see them fuck up like crazy. Kind
His
of like
nickname ends up his nickname ends up being the realist. Noah the
exactly.
realist.
You know what's gonna happen. I'm telling you right now. Every black dude on his team calls him what we call him it. We're not even gonna go around it. They're not. It's just because it's gonna slip. You're so used to using the word that when you see it, you're just like, oh. So yeah, I think that's funny. I also because I want to see him get drafted, or I want to see his college football games, that he'll hear the announcer slip up. Let's talk about Nick Kerr. Nicholas Kerr. I'm sorry. Steve Kerr's son is Nicholas Kerr. And sometimes he goes by Nick Kerr. And the announcers have a time. The teacher, like, what the answer to number 3? So sometimes Nicholas Kerr goes by Nick Kerr. So the announcers, from what I understand, when they're talking about him, sometimes they sweat because they can't say it fast. Because if they say it fast, it's Nick Kerr. So I don't know. I just think this is funny. I think we live in a world where this shit is fucking hilarious to me. I don't know why, but it is
I
so fucking
I could
hilarious.
see some teachers just like the ones that don't trust themselves. They're just gonna switch that to Nick K.
Exactly. Exactly. Or just call him Nicholas. Come here,
Or just Nick.
Nicholas.
Yeah.
My name is
Say
Nick.
we're
And the
just gonna go
funny part is,
first name only.
like, I think the absolute funniest part, like, they're both white. Like, I just think that's so funny. Like, if they were black, it wouldn't be as funny to me. But because they're white, like, you can't even slip up on your own last name. It's just funny to me. I don't know why. Okay.
Him to introduce himself to the wrong people.
Exactly.
Okay.
You pull up into the locker room for the first time and nobody knows you. What's your name? Knoah Knigga.
No, I'm talking about Nick.
Oh, Nick's dad, Steve Kerr. So I think they give him, like, everybody would know who he was.
Right, right. Yeah. I'm just saying, but if he wasn't Steve Kerr's son,
That's true. If he wasn't Steve Kerr's son, he would definitely go by Nicholas all the time.
I'm just saying he introduces himself real quick. They don't realize he's saying his name.
Maybe see. I need to listen more. I need to stop talking so much and listen more. You're 100% right. I get it now. I get it now. Okay. Um.
She's It's
So
validating all over.
yeah, I'm telling
All
you,
over.
I'm working on myself, and this is not a 2024 resolution. This is not a New Year's resolution. I started this shit in November, so that's what it is. That's
Yeah,
that's that's
I'm all about
yeah,
just doing it when you're doing it. Like, why
exactly.
wait till January
Yeah,
1st, like an
I don't do all
arbitrary
this.
date?
Yeah. Now I don't do all this stuff. Now, granted, I mean, I started working physically and working on my, like, physical health and more, and just eating better the last year. But now I'm like, okay, let's work on some other shit. But anyway, let's get into the Browns at the Texans. I was about to say the Dolphins.
Get
What do you?
about into this work that the Browns, I think, are gonna, like I said, man, I think, playoff time, the D's end up winning out. And I think out of the two D's, even though the Texans D isn't too shabby, the Browns D is just balling right now.
Um,
And
I agree.
Joe Flacco too, I think, what is he? He's like in 11-5 against the spread all time in the playoffs. 5-0 in Wildcard Weekend. Yes, it'll be tough to get it to go against, even though he just got off the couch.
But he's been playing really well.
Somebody was saying like he got off the couch slinging dimes, he was slinging dimes from the couch.
Yeah. I agree with everything you're saying. I also think that it's going to be experience. I think that when it comes to your the playoffs. We saw this last year with Jacksonville, which the Chargers, the same thing with the Chargers. Experience wins out a lot of times. And the Browns are way more experienced than the Texans. The Texans are playing with house money, so that's always dangerous because they're not supposed to be here. So that is always a dangerous thing when you have nothing to lose. But at the same time, this Browns team has tons of experience. So I think in this game, the experience wins out. Joe Flacco's not going to turn over the ball much. He's not going to try to do too much, and they're going to stick to their game plan. And again, I think their defense is a little stronger, so I think that's going to win out as well. Random fact: Joe Flacco is undefeated in January. That is a very random fact. Um, Dolphins at the Chiefs. I'm nervous. I'm nervous as shit. And I mean, people have been talking to me all week at the bank, and they're like, Eric, you have nothing to worry about. It's the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are from a
Are they gonna
warm city.
dolphin?
Huh?
They're
No,
gonna dolphin in the cold.
yeah, so they're from a warm city, and that's why it's going to be so cold. And my response all week has been our fucking Chiefs Our receivers cannot catch the ball in a dome. They can't catch the ball in a sun-filled
They
stadium.
can't even
They
catch a
can't catch
cold right
the
now.
ball at night. You're right. They can't catch a fucking cold. So how in the fuck do you think they're gonna catch a frozen ball? No. So it's going to come down to a run game.
It's all run heavy. Pacheco
And
gonna
who's
be
Pacheco,
necessary.
Hilaire, Mozart's out, but you got Acne or
Shit,
Akeem, whatever the
Mahomes
fuck.
might have to have a couple bootlegs.
So I mean, the thing that I like is our defense is held up. So our defense is good. They're hurt. They have players out, but again, we make stupid turnovers, stupid mistakes. So I'm going with my Chiefs. I mean, hopefully it's Patrick showtime in KC, but at the same time, I don't have high hopes for the game.
It's not gonna snow, right?
It's negative 13 degrees.
Right, but I'm just wondering if
Yeah,
the
it's gonna
snow
fucking snow, buddy.
that's gonna fuck up Tony.
Listen to
He's gonna
this. It is
fucking.
so cold. The playoff tickets are cheaper than normal because it's brutally fucking cold.
Would you go?
Fuck no.
Too cold.
Now, if I lived in KC, fuck yeah, I would go. If I lived in Missouri, I would go because I would already be prepared for this. I would
Right.
have I have heated gloves. Like they charge. We have heated gloves. I'd have heated fucking boots, heated fucking socks. I'd have a heated pad underneath me. I'd have a whole bunch of shit. So yeah, I would definitely go because I'd be a season ticket holder. But no, I would not fly all the way down to KC, not
Freeze
being
your ass
prepared
off.
for this shit. I'd have to buy like $600 worth of clothes. So just to stay warm. But no. So I don't. What are your thoughts on the game?
Um, I mean, like I said, like I'm like still debating if I'm sticking with my Dolphins pick, just because they're so decimated on defense. I think that's gonna be your guys' saving grace. Um, unless the Dolphins offense, like you said, just goes on a couple spurts and scores 24, 28 points.
Dude,
Um,
this game could be one of the coldest ever.
I think they were saying the coldest was negative 59, like back in 1928 or some bullshit.
Okay, so tonight's game starts at 5 p.m. West Coast time, 7 p.m. Central time. The air temperature is forecast to be around 0 degrees Fahrenheit with a bone chilling wind of negative 22 degrees. 15 to 20 mile an hour winds and gusts up to 40 miles throughout the game will only add to misery. By the game's end, the temperature is expected to drop to negative 2 degrees with the wind chill minus negative 23 degrees. The current coldest highest temperature for so maybe it's for Kansas City was 9 degrees was set in 1982. That thing is misleading. The coldest game ever, the air temperature that day was negative 13 degrees with a negative 48-degree wind chill.
The ice bowl.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the other one might have not been, I guess, like
The
no, it should have
freezer
definitely
game,
been during the
the freezer one was negative 9 degrees, but and that was the 59 below wind chills at 59 below zero against the
but
Bengals
they
and the
don't
Chargers.
consider they don't consider that one the
No,
coldest
because
one?
because the temperature, the
Oh,
overall
not with the
temperature.
wind chill.
Yeah,
Not with
so
the wind chill.
-9 and negative 13. That's why.
Wind chill is one of those things too where some people it's like the temperature that should be the temperature, not
It really should.
like
It really should. The people in the suite will enjoy the game. Fucking Brittany, fucking Mahomes will be throwing fucking champagne on people like a dumbass broad. It says Dolphins Chiefs game will become the latest. It'll be -5 at kickoff now. It's expected to drop to -8 now by the time the game ends. In 3 hours, it changed. The article I just read was from CNN 3 hours ago. This article is from Pro Football Talk. It's literally saying it's 8 degrees now, -8 degrees at the end of the game. So hopefully we win, but I don't know. I'm not high on it.
you're not exuding confidence.
No. But because this is a down year, I've explained it. I'm gonna tell you when we lost to the Raiders, and we didn't have a chance at the number 1 seed, what? Let me think of what I'm trying to say before I say something fucking stupid.
You tempered your expectations.
I didn't temper my expectations. I would say there was no temper of expectations. I would say that I realized the reality of our team with this being a down year, and we weren't going to go far. So I reserved to my faith, basically knowing that we are going to at some point in time lose, and it could be in the first round. So anything now on top of that is the cherry on top. So yeah, my expectations are gone. I don't have any. It's not that I tempered them. I have none. Even though I can see a way that we could still do this, I don't have any expectations. Jameis Winston's fake spike. What do you think about that, Mo?
I mean, it's for a just cause, I guess. Trying to get that guy's bonus, his incentive. Um, you know, it's a business. It's all they hear when they get traded or when they get cut, you know. So if the players are gonna get a chance to do something for themselves, meet those incentives, especially because they don't get paid what they should because there's so many of them, and the economics of the NFL doesn't allow for that. They're gonna get their bag when they can. So I think I'm kind of for it. Um, there was a podcast that was talking about how like uh, your team's line might let the other team get some sacks, but they get a little piece of it. It's like, hey, I'm gonna let you get this sack to get your
I saw that.
incentive, but you won't
Yeah,
give me 10%.
yeah, I saw that. Well, with his, I didn't know if it was for a bonus or because of the fact that he was the rushing touchdown leader last year with 17 for the
Or I
Lions.
think it was his first touchdown in the
Yeah,
NFL
yeah.
or some
So,
shit.
so he was the rushing leader, touchdown leader last year with 17 for the Lions. So he got signed to the Saints this year and had not scored all season. So when they got a interception and it ended on the 1 yard line,
So just to get him his first tutty with the
yeah,
team.
the offense came together and decided because of what he meant to the team that they were going to punch it in and let him go for it. And Jameis Winston made a great point. The score was 41 to fucking 17. It didn't fucking matter. If they would have ran in the defensive touchdown, would anybody been complaining? I watched what the fuck Flimlo Rap's video on it, and I actually kind of agree with a lot of stuff that he was saying. And there's 2 plays that I'm going to give you that I can talk about that I got directly from him, but that paint a totally different picture. When a team goes and kneel down in victory formation, how many times have you seen the defense try to knock the ball out? You
And then
see
they
it.
get pissed.
They don't get penalized, but you see it
No,
all
I'm
the time.
saying, but then the offense gets pissed.
Yeah, exactly. But
So
you see it
in
all
this
the
case,
time. You see it
right.
all the time where the defense will sit up there and try to knock the ball out when they're in a victory formation and go and run into them. And the media doesn't say shit. Media goes, oh, you play to the whistle. They're playing till the end. Okay, cool. There's multiple times
I
it
think
happens.
some people, that's the problem they had. Is like, if you're gonna do that, don't do it in victory formation because you guys get mad when we do that.
Yes.
So if we're gonna lay
Okay,
off,
second time. Okay, another example. Last year, Joe Burrow, with 2 minutes down, they were up 41-21 over the Ravens. Joe Burrow was told on like a 3rd and 4, they threw a pass play. Joe Burrow started to run. He was told not to run the ball. He started to run and threw a dime to Mixon that was like 40 yards down the field. When the reporters asked the coach about it, Zach Taylor said, I'm not apologizing for our team being fucking good. I'm not apologizing for the team job that we did. I think the problem was Dennis Allen. That was the issue. This right here, I would cut Winston that night. Dennis Allen does not have control of the team. First
that's
of all,
what some people were saying. They
you
said they didn't
can't cut
respect him.
somebody that's a free agent. Jameis Winston is an unrestricted free agent. You can't cut
That's
him.
why he did it.
You can't. No, he didn't do it that way. He did it because of the team. The
I know,
offense.
but when you have like a position like he's in, then you can say fuck it,
Yeah,
you
but
know?
the whole offense came together and said we want to get him a touchdown. And they even have I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. You're saying that because he's basically a free agent, he doesn't care about that because he knows he can go to another team. I see what that's
It's
saying.
like, hey, like you
But
just said, what are
even
they gonna do? Cut me?
there's reports coming out right now that the offense backs Jameis Winston 100%, and it was their decision. I think in that scenario, we live, first of all, okay, all right, okay, I can cut him. He can still go on vacation early. Anthony, please explain to me what he did that was so bad. He scored a touchdown in the waning
I
seconds of the
think
game.
the opposing argument would be he's undermining the coach.
Okay, okay, I understand that. I completely understand undermining. I get that. And we know Dennis Allen has lost the team. But Dennis Allen also had a way to step up in his press conference and show leadership, which men do among men. And he apologized to the Falcons organization and stuck his tail between his legs. He could have literally came out and said, look, you know what? It wasn't my call. I called something else, but I respect their decision. I back what they're doing because they were protecting their guy and trying to get their guy a touchdown. No, but he threw his whole fucking team under the bus. So we know Dennis Allen has no control over the team. We already know this. We know Dennis Allen is not a very good fucking coach. So
But
that to me,
if you back the players, then they're gonna say that you're not a good sport, yada yada
buddy,
yada.
how many times in a you were an athlete. How many times did you go against something a coach would say and it ended up working and they just let it fucking go? It happens all the time. All the fucking
Yeah,
time.
I think if the like results
We
still in the balance, it changes things a little bit though.
It
Um,
happens all the time. I've done it in sports. You've done it in sports. We've all done it. We've all fucking done it.
I think it also it's different from like sport to sport. So
But how
it
can
kind of
you?
depends on the
This is
situation.
my issue. How can you get mad at a guy protecting his teammate?
I don't think some would see it as a protection, though. They see it as, you know, self-aggrandizing.
But that's what he said. He said we made a collective decision to get him a touchdown. Jameis Winston didn't
Right.
get
Some
anything out
people,
of it.
yeah, but some people still feel that that is unnecessary. Like,
True.
you know,
But what did Jameis Winston gain from this?
no, I'm just playing
I know
devil's
you're playing
advocate.
devil's advocate. I know what you're doing. So on devil's advocate, what did Jameis Winston gain from this?
I don't think he gained much besides like what you're saying, like some camaraderie and, I'm sure, some cloud in the locker room.
Arthur Smith was not trying to protect his team. I'm gonna make another point about this. This is another reason why I don't like his bitch ass running across the field, going blah 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 blah. Because that was not about that game. That was not about that moment. That was a god damn it. I can think of words when I'm not on the fucking podcast and can say them all the fucking time. But when I'm on the podcast, shit words get jumbled and I can't think of them and say them right. So that was basically a gathering of the whole fucking season coming down on him at once. He knew he was getting fired. He knew his job was gone. He knew he had to win this game. They went into the half tied 17-17 and did not score again and allowed the team to put up 41 fucking points up until that point in time. They allowed them to put up 24 unanswered points. The season did not go the way he expected to go. He knew his job was on the line, and all of that gathered up, and he went there and they did it to Dennis Allen. The same shit that happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock. The same exact shit. Same thing. Arthur Smith had been beat down the whole fucking season, and he just blew up on Dennis Allen. That was not about him protecting his team. That was about him blowing up because he was fucking mad and he knew he was about to get fired. That had nothing to do with it. And if he wanted to protect his team, why the fuck was he throwing the ball? Because he was. With a minute and 25 seconds left, he was throwing the fucking ball. Why? Why don't you just run the ball? You're down 41-17. You can't win the game. Why are you still trying to? That's another thing I dislike. The offense is literally losing the game. They are mathematically eliminated. They would have to score quickly, onside quick, score quickly, onside quick. So there's so much shit that would have to happen. But yet it's okay for them to keep playing and them to try to score a useless fucking touchdown. Maybe he wanted to get his backup quarterback some extra reps. Maybe he wanted to see if he could get one of his younger receivers in the end zone. I don't understand why it's any different except for Dennis Allen called a victory thing. You can get mad at Jameis for going, oh, he didn't respect his coach's decision, which he did apologize to Jameis for this. But Jameis said it was a team decision, and the offenses came out afterwards and said it was a team. And I don't know how you cut somebody that doesn't play anymore. Like, you can't cut him. He's done. The season's over. They did exit interviews. He is no longer a Saint. So you're going to send him home on Sunday night, so that way he can do his exit interview on Monday and Tuesday and be off the
Well,
team?
I mean, maybe not cut, but then they're gonna make it less likely that he gets re-signed there. But maybe he already knew that too.
It was trying to save his job. I bet if Arthur Smith was fighting, he still would be coaching. But yeah, I don't fuck Arthur Smith's punk ass. Okay, you need to show more fire. He showed more fire at the end of that game to Dennis Allen than he showed ever before in the histories of this whole entire organization when he was coaching. So fuck him, fuck all that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I think as a society, we're fucking soft, and I'm tired of this shit. Okay, we're dudes. No. Who gives a fuck? You know what they could have done, Mauricio? You know what they should have done?
Mm.
They could have fucking stopped him. How about that?
Well, that's I think what the defense's argument would be is like if you're lining up in victory formation, then you're kneeling down,
I
right?
don't give a fuck.
So
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. There's
so
still
then
11.
so then they can't get mad if they're gonna try and swipe at the balls. Then
Okay. So we all need to stop bitching. I'm just saying the media needs to treat them the same. Jameis Winston is taking a bunch of an ass whooping for no reason. He did something that was good for a teammate. Got him in the end zone in a game that was a blowout. Who cares? Obviously I do, because we're talking about it. So, Bill Belichick. We didn't get to touch on this on Thursday or Wednesday because he got released the next day. What are your thoughts on this?
oh man, shoot. On Wednesday when it was all happening, I didn't realize like how, I guess epic this was for people, especially with that happening alongside Nick Saban retiring and Pete Carroll getting cut or getting released, fired, whatever. Um, you know, I guess it's probably it probably won't looking back on it like 20 years from now, it'll probably be one of those things like when you saw, Jordan play that I guess as it's happening, you don't realize it, but then, when you put it into perspective and into the, history of the NFL, he's what, second in wins,
Mm-hmm.
most Super Bowls won. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to knock his hustle as one of the GOATs.
I agree. I'm gonna tell people I think this might be the stupidest fucking decision the Patriots have ever made. I don't care. I don't care if he goes coach someplace else. He is 15 wins away from taking over. I'm sorry, he's 25 wins, 26 wins away from taking over Don Shula.
I thought
16
it was
wins.
15.
Well, in wins, Don Shula has 2, 3. Oh, this is just probably regular season. I don't know if it's playoffs too. I have
Oh,
Don
I'm
Shula.
sure Bill Belichick has way more in the playoffs because they play more rounds now. And
Okay, so hold on.
yeah, I think he's only 15 away.
Bill Belichick has so I don't know what the combination is because it says Bill Belichick has 302 and Don Shula has 328.
Um,
Bill Belichick has way more wins in the playoffs, but even at this scenario, oh yeah, that's right. Because hold on, let me do math. Let me do simple fucking math real quick. Um, 31 plus 302 equals 333, 320, 328 plus 19. Okay, yeah, so he's 15 away from beating him. So he has 333. Don Shula has 347. So that's what I told him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew
So
it
he's
was around there.
15 away from beating him. So in that scenario, he should do that in a Patriot with the Patriots.
It would take him 7 years to do it with the Patriots,
What it, this,
averaging 2 wins,
but this,
averaging 2 wins a season.
but this is
I
the
mean,
problem.
just saying, if all things, were to stay as they are, or he can go to a contender and do it in 2 years.
Okay, so this is the problem that you have. Okay, the last time Belichick had he's had a 4-win season and an 8-win season, right? Back to back. So the last time Belichick had 2 seasons under 500 was 2000 when he was with the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland and then New England. So he did Cleveland, left Cleveland, went to New England, had 2 500 seasons in a row. Do you think that's going to continue? Like, judging by history, it's not. Now, granted, did he fuck up for 2 years? Yes, he did. The last 2 years, it was fucking horrible. And we know when this fuck up came, they made the wrong decision with the fucking quarterback and Mac and Jones and Cheese. Okay, we know this. But when you look at
You
him,
just say Mac Jones and cheese.
Mac Jones and Cheese, Mac and Cheese, Mac and Jones and Cheese, Mac Cheese Jones, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Mac, I don't give a fuck. They made the wrong fucking
Big
decision.
Mac Cadillac.
So he went 7-9 the first year Brady retired, and that was the COVID year. And if Cam Newton doesn't get COVID, he probably gets in the fucking playoffs because he ended up having to play Brian Hoyer and some other fucking dude because Cam Newton missed, and Cam Newton was never the same. Or if he signs him earlier. Then they go to the playoffs. Then he decides to hire Matt Patricia. So he's missed the playoffs 3 times in the last 4 years, 100%. But that means he's missed the playoffs 4 times in the last 22 years. So, like, it's not, I don't think it's going to continue. I think they should have taken away the GM. They should have sat down and said, look, we don't want you as a GM. Let's just have you focus on coaching right now. We'll sign another contract and give him another chance. They have to rebuild the team regardless of what's going to happen. And regardless of what anybody says, whether they have Bill Belichick or they have Jared Mayo, in 3 years, they're going to be doing the same shit all over again. Hiring another coach. All you had to do was rebuild the team and get 2 to 3 good seasons. That's it. An 8-win season and a 7-win season, and he beats the record. That's it.
Maybe they had already kind of promised Gerard Mayo,
That's fine. I don't
next.
care. But this is the problem I have when it comes to this. How many great coaches, and we're going to say great, we're not going to use fucking average. Mike McCartney was not a great coach. How many great coaches, Hall of Fame coaches, leave their organization and that organization does better?
Tom Landry.
Yep. The Cowboys and the Steelers. That's it.
I'm sure there's others I can't think off the top of my head.
No, I've went through it. I have the list right now. Don Shula retired in 1995. The Dolphins sucked. Fucking were garbage. I'm not including fucking George Halas. George Halas would have been fine. He was 1920, 1967. And I'm pretty positive that they continue to do good. Chicago, 1967. Okay. So let's see. They were 7-6. Let's see. When's the next time Chicago got good?
The 80s.
7-7. Okay, so we're not including George Halas. I've already went 5 years, and they had a 7-7 record was the best record they had. So we're not including George Halas. Andy Reid. Everybody, they bring this up to me all the time. Andy Reid. Was Andy Reid a Hall of Fame coach before he got to KC?
I think, yeah.
He didn't win a Super Bowl. He had
Didn't
been to one. He had been to one Super Bowl before he got to KC.
Didn't a lot of the Bills make the fucking Hall of Fame?
Who? I said coaches. We're not talking about players. Coaches.
Didn't Marv Levy make the Hall of Fame?
Let's see. Yeah. But Marv Levy went to 4 straight fucking Super Bowls.
He win none of them hoes.
That doesn't matter. where Andy Reid had one
He went
up
to
until
fucking 5 straight NFC Championship
it
games.
doesn't matter. He had one Super Bowl. He had been one Super Bowl appearance
I
since
know
then.
that's the knock on him, but it's still he's
So
still
I
pretty
don't know
good.
if he's a Hall of Fame head coach before then. I don't know that. And do
I,
you guys
I, I would
do we
I would
remember
say
the coach
so,
that
but
came after
I
him?
I I
Who was the
tend
coach that
to
came after him?
wasn't it Ray Rhodes?
No, Chip Kelly. Remember how that experiment went?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. 3 years later, they were doing the same thing again. Like I've Tom Landry is the one you said I give you because of Jimmy Johnson, and then Jimmy
Yeah, but
Johnson with Barry Switzer.
that was still Jimmy's team. I don't
Yeah,
think they
but
got
even
better
then, that
with
Barry Switzer
Barry.
only lasted 1 year. After that, they went downhill.
Right, that's what I mean. I don't think
Um,
they got better after that.
um, um, Dan Reeves. Dan Reeves. I don't know if Dan Reeves. See, that's the thing. I don't know if Dan Reeves is a Hall of Fame coach when he leaves the Broncos, even though he went to the Super Bowl. Because then Shanahan came over and took the Broncos over, and he led them to the Super Bowl. So if Dan Reeves is your interest, yeah, I think that's interesting too. Eric, I got a question. Here's math skills as a person that works at a bank, 100%, but I'm high as fuck right now. I am extremely high right now. Okay, so my motor skills are moving extremely slow. And again, I this is the craziest part about it. I don't do the fucking tellers. So I don't do any cash back. I don't do any, I'm not a teller. I'm a banker. So I deal with decimal points, percentages, and that's about it.
Like, I don't count your money. I tell you where to put your money.
That's it. Thank you. I do not. And I don't even joke around. When we go into the fucking vault and they go, hey, Eric, count the money. I'm like, dude, you know it's going to be wrong. I'm fucking counting it. And we had to count like $3 million one time. I was like, I don't even want to fucking be back here. Like my head
You
hurts.
gotta count it by hand. You can't
No, it's
fucking.
bundled. It's bundled. But even then, 3 million bundles. So like a band is 100K of hundreds. But not all of our shit is hundreds. So we got 1,000 ones. We got like fucking, I don't fucking know, 2,500 fives, 5,000 fives, 50,000 tens, fucking 100,000 20. I don't fucking know. We got a whole bunch of dumbass shit. So I'd be fucking mad as shit. So yeah, so that's the issue. I don't see, and that's what I've been telling people this whole week with Bill leaving. In my opinion, it would have been better to allow him to continue as just a coach. Get a GM in, explain it. Hey, we want you to break the record. We want you to retire here, but we do need to focus on going in a different direction with some of these people, and then see how that works. And I feel extremely sorry for Gerard Mayo because he inherited a piece of shit team, and I don't think he's going to do anything. Last thing we're going to get into, because I know you got to get off in a couple minutes. NBA trade rumors. You talked about the Lakers.
I just saw, last night that they were eyeing DeJounte Murray, but it's gonna be at the cost of Austin Reeves and uh Rui Hashimura. So will
Well,
they
that's
be willing
because
to part with that in the draft compensation necessary? Because Atlanta knows it's trying to recoup what they gave up on him.
Well, yeah, because Atlanta also gave up draft picks. The problem that you have here is then if that happens, the Lakers are going to go trade D'Angelo Williams or D'Angelo Russell. I mean,
Well, that's what they're saying. It's either gonna
but I don't
include.
think Atlanta wants that contract. It's not a bad contract, but it's not great. I don't think they'll get rid of Austin Reeves. But I
They don't
do
want
like.
to, but I think Atlanta is gonna demand it if they are gonna give up DeJounte.
Yes, yes, I feel the same way with Pete Carroll. I do feel that you know what? I do feel that Pete Carroll is it's going to take a second to replace him. And I think what we should have learned in the last 2 seasons from Pete Carroll is a damn good coach. Because did anybody see Seattle making the playoffs last year when Russell Wilson got traded with the scraps that they put together? Revive Geno Smith's career. Okay, love you, baby. um, revive Geno Smith's career. I didn't see any of that coming. So I think again that they're going to struggle because you have an older Ooh. An older core with some of your skill positions. Lockett, you got to figure out what you're gonna do with him. So I do see the same thing. Trade Wiggins to the Lakers. Ooh, oh, I don't like that.
I
Wiggins
think they
makes too
need
much.
a shooter though too, and they need a ball handler.
Wiggins makes too much for me. So I'm not a big fan of that. What do you think about Zach LaVine? Do you think he's gonna get traded?
Um, and I mean they keep bringing him up, but I don't know if it's a good fit for the Lakers. I mean, he may end up getting traded somewhere else. Because it seems like the Bulls have moved on, but I think um he doesn't, or the Lakers would prefer somebody that is going to be able to play on both ends of the floor.
Yeah. Okay. Um, what about Pascal Siakam? Not for the Lakers, but what do you think about him getting traded?
Seems like Toronto's going to be definitely a seller. So, where do you see Pascal ending up?
If I had to pick, I would say the Warriors for Pascal.
That or like the Suns or something?
Well, the Suns don't have enough trade pieces to get him, nor do they have enough draft picks. But the Warriors could
Is
because
he
of
going to be a big haul?
Chris Paul's salary and Andrew Wiggins' salary, and throw in
They
Jonathan
would
Kaminga.
it would be just those three or no
Of
draft
course,
picks?
they're going to throw in a pick. They're going to have to throw in a pick. But I don't know, just based off of salaries, I could see definitely them taking Chris Paul, Jonathan Kaminga, and a first and like a pick swap.
Pascal makes that much?
Pascal makes like 35 to $43 million. He got that contract
He got
after
one of the maxes for them
yeah, for at the time he did. Yeah. He got
when they
that
won the
con-
chip.
yeah, he got that. Yeah, yeah. So he is making 37 million.
Mm.
Yeah, so he's making 37 million and the only problem you have is he's going to be an unrestricted free agent. I
So
agree
it's a
with you. That's
rental.
why I'm thinking that's why I think they go all in. I think this would be a perfect trade because if it doesn't work, they don't have to resign him. Do you see what I'm saying? Because he's going to be a free agent. Chris Paul is not part of
Future
their
plan.
future. Yeah, they're not. That's not part of their plans. So let me see. Chris Paul's contract. Yeah, Chris Paul signed that 4 years. So Chris Paul's he's making $30 million. So you would have to throw in Kaminga, who Kaminga's probably making around 7 to 8, maybe a little under that. He might be making 5. This is why I love 2K. 2K at least has very, very reasonable contracts. This is how I'm so good at knowing the contracts because I play fucking 2K rebuilds. He's
Yeah.
making $6 million. So you throw in those two and throw in 2 first-round draft picks, or you throw in Andrew Wiggins and make Andrew Wiggins go back to Canada because that's where he's originally from. But the problem with that is what happens. Andrew Wiggins he's only making 24. So you're gonna have to throw somebody else in. You're gonna have to throw in like a $12 million contract. So you throw in Andrew Wiggins, send him back to Canada. But the problem with that is how are him and RJ Barrett going to play next to each other? That's why I think Chris Paul fits better. Chris Paul at the 1, quickly at the 2, RJ Barrett at the 3, and then whoever the fuck they want at the 4 and the 5. Scotty Barnes at the 4, and I don't know who their center is.
Same. Um, where the hell did
I gotta
Eric go?
get
There he
ass buttons.
is.
I
I
gotta
was
get
like,
rid of
he
these
pulled a
buttons.
Houdini. He put a
These fucking
Houdini
little
on them.
side buttons. As soon as I hit one of them, that bitch just takes me out. So I don't fucking know.
Yeah, and next thing I know, I was down here by myself, so I was working on my monologue
All right. So, anything else? Do you have time to touch on Cat? Or are you ready to go?
on Cat.
Yeah, Cat Williams
What happened
scorched
with
yours.
Cat?
Cat Williams.
Oh,
Or
Cat.
you want to say that for
We
next?
could do 2 minutes. Yeah, let's tease it. Let's tease it for
Oh,
next time.
okay.
Um,
So
I mean, he definitely scorched earth. But I guess we can get into it on Wednesday or
yeah, we'll lead into it. Well, yeah, probably on Wednesday. We'll probably do it on Wednesday because not much. I mean, we'll talk about the NFL, but we're going to transition that more to movies, documentaries, more shit like that, reviews of stuff like that.
Yeah, I
Podcast.
think that'll be good. That
Yeah,
way we give it its due. It's we
yeah,
don't rush it.
yep. So we're So just to let you guys know, because yes, that's a very good question. Hold on. Because the football season is ending, we are going to get rid of going forward on fourth on Wednesdays, and we're transitioning that to podcast reviews, movie reviews, documentary reviews. Does it? Some of it will be sports related, but if it's trending, we may jump on that too, just like the Katt Williams Scorched Earth, which we'll go into this Wednesday. They can trade cash consideration. Yes, they can. I gotta exactly get the details on it because I don't want to be wrong. But I've seen them do that. Yeah, it's called cash considerations. Are more commonly used by NBA teams to trade draft picks or draft rights to particular players, but they can also be used to trade for contract players as long as the team receiving the said player has enough cap room to absorb his entire salary for that season. So yes, they can trade cash considerations like they can in baseball. Now, amazing. I can't think of normal fucking words, but automatically I can name cash considerations off the top of my fucking head. But I can't do that in 2K. So everybody,
All
make
right,
sure
Joe.
you like, subscribe, Mo. Whenever you're ready, take us out.
All right, take us out, Coach.
Later.